I've always been of the opinion that the whole argument that Trump is a white supremacist is kind of weak. You know, like what has he really done to be a white supremacist? I think
they got pictures of Trump at the marches back in the days.
Sure. Him existing as an anti-immigration president and then deciding that the main exception that we're going to make to that is that we're going to let the white Africans come to America.
No.
Because they are living in fear of the ravenous, animalistic black Africans.
No, fuck all that. That ain't the main exception.
That stands out to me.
That ain't the main exception.
That's like the most mask-off racist thing that I've really seen from Trump so far.
Let's give a better example.
You tell me why I'm wrong.
Let's give a better example.
Why don't you just tell me why I'm wrong?
Get rid of all the immigrants. But if you got $5 million, you can come in and stay.
Right, but the Afrikaners are not even giving them $5 million.
You're missing what
They're just white.
Bro, you're missing what I'm saying. Puffy went against Trump, right? These people that he say ain't from here, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. He's running a major campaign, right? But if you got the right amount of money, you can stay. Okay, if you got the right amount of money, I got you.
There's no real indication that the Afrikaners are giving Trump a bunch of money.
You're missing the point. They already said he generated what, bro? 50 million, 500 million or some shit off of selling these, what does he call it? The gold card or some type of card?
$5 million, yeah.
Okay, he's already generated some crazy amount of people that brought into it. The same people he said, get out. But if you have this, you can stay. What's the difference between Puff with the anti-Trump, but hey, I got this. Can we work? So what's the difference?
The difference is that anyone can pay $5 million to come to America now, apparently. This is Trump's new thing. But the Afrikaners get to come for free. Why? Why? This is what you're
trying to have a conversation that's not related to the conversation.
Is how useful the idea of white victimhood is to the Republicans.
Hey, bro, listen. Hey, listen. This is America.
You're in the dark.
It's going to operate. No, you're missing the whole... You're missing.
This guy's in the dark.
You're missing the whole thing.
You're not seeing what's going on.
You're not seeing it. You're saying, look at him. He's anti-Trump. Okay, Trump is saying, y'all ain't American, get out the country. But if you got the money, you can stay. So the anti-Trump dude, if he got the fucking bag, I'll let you out that prison. You not getting it?
Hey,
the shit you talking about in Africa,
giant continent of Africa. None of you are allowed to come over here. Stay the fuck where you're at. Up. Unless you're white. Come on over. It's kind of hard to not see that as sort of being representative of a racist idea, right?
Well, you the one said he wasn't racist. We all know he look at his era. We none of us deny the fact that Trump comes from where he come from.
I just think like the best argument for Trump being racist prior to all this was like, oh, he posted a photo with a taco bowl.
Listen,
you remember the taco bowl?
Trump's era, his age, things he's done and said, his representation too. I respect the fact that he still identified with his people.
So why are the Afrikaners allowed in and no other immigrants?
I don't know. I asked him.
Well,
you can't say no other.
It would kind of stand out that they're white.
For $5 million, he letting people stay.
Right, but okay, it's kind of different when one person's giving you $5 million and they get to come in, and then the other people are coming in for free, and they just so happen to be white people in a country that is largely black.
Well, here goes the thing. Maybe you think they coming in for free. To Trump is always a catch-22.
Well, what I will say is that the Afrikaners were heavily investing in lobbyists. They've been really doing their thing, trying to raise awareness. And I am sympathetic to their situation because everything I read says that the people of South Africa are fucking terrified of being killed by people sort of storming their farms, which is really to be expected in a country.
You got your nerves. You said the people who are terrified of being what? That's really to be
expected in a country that has such extreme income inequality.
Are terrified of being what, bro?
Have you ever been to Africa?
Answer my question.
Okay, so that's the difference between you and I. Is that I have, and I've seen the most extreme income inequality I've ever seen in my life.
How could your white skin self talk about
how have you never been to the motherfucking motherland?
What are you talking about?
When y'all went over there,
don't talk to me about Africa. There and violated our people. Like, well, you really don't even open your mouth up to say nothing like that.
All you got is a tan.
So you're saying,
you got a tan.
Let me ask you something.
The f do you know?
How many Africans were killed back in them days, shipped over here for slavery, and God knows what over there by people floating up on boats? Man, we don't want to hear that shit.
No, you're
out of here, man. You and your side sob story.
You ain't been there.
Straight up, red to black and
also,
green.
you saying that, yes, that
real.
sounds like a pretty good argument for why should the rich whites from Africa be allowed in.
I'm just saying, don't let it come out your mouth about they're in fear. Like, what
You don't think that the Afrikaners are living in fear? You think this is all made up?
What I'm telling you is what the people over there had to endure and experience over the last couple hundred of years. We don't want to hear about nobody being in fear over there. That's the opposite of us, bro. I'm just
So
being real
you think
with
if a white guy who has a farm with a family in Africa has people raiding his farm in the middle of the night trying to kill him and his family,
raiding his farm,
you
in
don't
the
have any
middle of the
sympathy
night.
for that. This is what the Afrikaners are dealing with, which is why. And now
you
you
got
forced me
sympathy?
into a position of defending them.
Do you have sympathy, Mr. Waiwumpi, from the Caucasus Mountains of those black sharecroppers who
My name
woke
is
up
Adam
at
Grant
1 in the
Mason, you
morning,
piece of shit.
at 1 in the morning with capes around their house, burning their shit? Huh? Well, how about that
Why do
fear?
I even, what is that?
That's my point. They don't talk to me about what you talk about.
So you have no empathy for the Afrikaners
what
getting
I'm
their
saying
houses
is,
raided
until
and
we
murdered
talk
in the
about-
middle of the night.
Until we put the light on the root of the problem, let's not talk about the branches and the leaves. Let's talk about the root, and then we can get to that.
This is very convenient that all of a sudden you feel a lot of sympathy for the black people in
No, I've
Africa.
always felt sympathy
My
for all
original
people,
argument
especially
was
my
that there's
people.
something inherently unfair about the white Africans being allowed in while the black Africans are told to f off and
No,
stay
you're
where you're
saying
at.
because they're scared to death.
Well, that is why Trump is in any way capable of making
What do
this
you think
argument.
them little kids were scared to death who got bombed in the school bombings?
We're talking about right now.
What do you think
Talking
about them
about
people
right
that
now.
unleashed them
We ain't
dogs?
talking about no back in
turned
the day
on them
shit.
fight? No, we're talking about back in the day is all right now.
No.
Because our people are still going through and trying to get caught up because we lost 150, 200 years based on the fear.
I agree with you. Slavery, bad. Segregation, bad.
No, let's go before
Still
that.
not great that white people in Africa have to live in fear that their farms are going to get stormed by black people who are going to kill them.
The world should stop for that.
Well, I do think that, I feel some degree of
What about
sympathy
the
for
Native
them.
Americans? What about them?
Yeah, they got fucked over for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, listen, I don't mind talking about this and putting some light on it, but that is a branch and a leaf. Let's talk about the root and work our way up the tree.
The thing is that we can't change the past, but we can change right now.
And right now shouldn't be a mirror reflection of the past because it still is in some ways.
Okay, but not like it used to be.
It don't matter, not like it used to be. If it still is, and it's still there, it's a conversation. Because you know why? We're going through it longer than you.
So your argument, which by the way, you've really forced me to switch sides in this argument. by
We're
making
going
such
through
a
it
stupid
longer than you.
argument.
Matter
Okay,
of fact,
let me
take
explain
that
this to
black
you.
shirt off, bro.
Let me explain this to you.
Across from me. We
You
just
have
want to see your
you
white
have
skin.
no monopoly over the color black when it comes to clothing. And even you, realistically, your skin is more of a mocha. Anyway, you're telling me that
My
the white
DNA
people
is
who are
Negro.
being murdered on their farms in Africa, instead of having their complaints taken seriously, instead we should tell them, oh, well, actually, there was a lot of racism back in the day, and
No,
really
no.
still a lot of it as well, and therefore you should not be worried about having your
listen.
families killed.
No, what I'm saying is this. Do you believe if you got a list of complaints, and let's just say it's 1,000 complaints, right? Do you start at complaint 999, or do you have to address complaint 1?
That's why you hire lobbyists to go petition the president to save your ass.
No, what do you address? Complaint 1 or start at 999?
Whoever can raise the most noise about their complaint.
Because our
We should not
complaints,
go in order.
our
It's
complaints
ridiculous.
of the people still haven't been addressed.
So are you saying that you think that it would be more fair if Trump were allowing impoverished black people from Africa to come to America instead of these rich white people?
No, I
It
think
sounds like that's what you're saying, which is really how I started this conversation.
I'm saying all people, if that's the case, if they can prove these things are going on, no matter what your skin color is.
So you think if some people in another country are having a bad time that they should just be able to come to America? Because that's retarded. Definitely don't want that.
Oh, what do you mean? What's the difference between them and them?
Why do we even have borders?
A skin color?
Why do we even have borders?
Okay, well, we talking about somebody giving a pass to come through our border.
Right.
So
they should give us $5 million, or in some cases be able to plead amnesty, say that the conditions are so fucked up in their country that's a good reason for them to come over.
Look at the camera and tell Trump he should make the white Africans pay $5 million. Let them hear you say it.
I honestly don't think that they all have $5 million.
Then they shouldn't be allowed. If the Hispanics or the Ukrainians or the Chinese or whoever has to pay this $5 million, don't you think that everybody should have to pay it?
If I had a direct line to Donald Trump, I would tell him that we need to keep Pacoima the fuck out of this country.
No,
we need to annex Pacoima. Get them out of here. This has been the Adam and Wack Show. You are an insufferable prick.
Who?
I'm sure plenty of people feel that way about me too, but
thank you for representing the city.
Smash that like button. Annex Pacoima.
Good, bad, and the ugly. Say it again.